He keeps cheating, but we love him.
Please, no.
Yeah, remove her stupid
I can change him. I
Thank you.
love him.
I think we should give him another chance. Oh, we should have babies. I just don't like my twin sister and Patience already said. When y'all ready to pop off, you let us know. I understand why we're even having this discussion. Just let him cheat and pee. We should all just give him one more chance because he's just really just stressed right now. And after a long day of work, it's hard to stay loyal to. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my little skit that I did at the beginning. So we're going to be doing a recap of Inside Out. And I just want to start off by saying it's been almost a decade since the sequel. I was kind of nervous for a sequel with such a vast amount of time between them, but anyways, that's gonna be my first thing. So let's get right into it. So first things first, it starts off, she's turned 13. I'm just like, I remember when I was 13. Eek! Tragic. She turns 13, and so business as usual. All the emotions are here: joy, anger, disgust, fear, and sadness. And they're all here hanging out. Blah, blah, blah. So the puberty button goes off. And then basically anytime they touch the console, like something similar, something small will be like, okay, discuss. I don't like that. Oh my god, it's so disgusting. Like basically everything puts the volume down. Basically every emotion is like heightened now, and basically a new people move in. So the new emotions this time is anxiety, ennui, which I'm kind of confused by. Anxiety, ennui, envy, and then embarrassment. So these are like the new emotions who are moving in. Basically they're taking over control of everything. Anxiety is basically paired, like anxiety basically takes the role of controller of everything. I have over here that basically with anxiety in charge of everything is based off of pretty much anxiety and fear kind of go hand in hand, but pretty much like everything is like, oh, we got to get new friends because she finds out that from, female intuition, pretty much when her friend frowned, she was like, she knows something was wrong. So she turns out that the main character, her two friends are actually going to be going to a different high school than her. And basically anxiety sees it as, oh my God, I'm going to need somebody to talk to. They go to summer, they basically go to hockey camp, and she meets like the star player and they start hanging out. She pretty much like has a choice, and the choice is like basically go towards, the new possible friends versus going towards what she already knows, but they're kind of unstable. Like with anxiety, she's thinking, okay, this is too unstable. They're not going to be friends with me next year. So let me just go ahead and try to make friends with the new people. So that's pretty much what happens there. Basically like with her mom and her dad's relationship with her becomes strained because like she doesn't really know how to like, maneuver anything. And so like she has a couple of mishaps. She ends up, I would say stealing the answers, but at the new camp, like she ends up having it where, like she steals, like she basically steals like the notes. Like there's a big red book that the boss keeps on her desk in plain sight and not in a drawer, and basically it has notes of everybody, and like under her name is said not ready. So basically after that she starts training really hard and really puts her friends to the side. And then there's an issue where she basically was hanging out with the new friends, and then like her old friends pop up and they're talking about like a childish boy band or whatever. And then talking about childish boy band or whatever, and basically she's like, oh my God, I don't like them anymore. They're like, oh yeah. And then like sarcasm, so basically sarcasm starts to increase. So basically anything she says, basically any emotion she says, she just starts saying like it sarcastically. So I thought that was kind of cute. Meanwhile back at headquarters, okay, that's kind of funny. But meanwhile, back at headquarters, they've bottled up all the emotions, the original emotions, joy, and the crew. So the plan is that they have sadness going up the tube from the back of the mind to the front of the mind, and she's gonna basically recall them all over from the land of the lost because they're going to get her true self. True self is when like core memories get together, and that really like sets the precedence for like what like that pretty much sets the precedence for like what you like who you really are, and pretty much like um it's just like a sense of self, because like anxiety starts building a new sense of self. The new sense of self is like crazy. So anyway, so there's a time during the hockey game where, you know, anxiety overreacts, so it ends up having where there's a fight for control, because now the old versus new emotions are fighting together. She ends up having a anxiety attack, and basically that pretty much, like, that was like a wake-up call. Anxiety, it's just like, okay, maybe she needs a balance of both, you know. So it shows her in the end being able to, after, you know, about an anxiety, the panic attack was like a wake-up call, and she ends up changing how she is, but she's still true to herself, and like ends happily ever after, and then there's a post-credit scene with the big dark secret that they were locked up in with. So definitely stay tuned for that when you watch it. All right, the review. I give the movie a 4.5 out of 5. Now, the reason why I didn't give it a perfect score because there was a couple of emotions that I feel like wasn't like, they weren't demonstrated correctly. So, in Nui, like, I'm kind of confused by that, because I know Nui means night. So basically boredom, to me, that could have been replaced with aloof. I have on here too, envy could have been replaced with pick me, because envy gave pick me vibes. And then anxiety was a little bit too organized, because I remember just in general, just as an adult, as a 33-year-old adult, like I feel like anxiety is schizophrenia on crack, pretty much. Like, I feel like anxiety was telling people where to go, doing this, that, and other. I was just like, you're a little bit too organized to be anxiety. That was kind of where I cut it off from. The time limit, I felt the time frame was good. I was kind of like thrown off, because like I'm so used to Disney movies. Disney movies have not been 90 minutes. That's the runtime. Disney movies have not been 90 minutes in a while, but this is one of those movies where we could have got 2 hours out of it. You know, of course, you know, you want to keep it light. It is a kid's movie, but we could have got, you know, we could have got 2 hours out of this movie. Something about it being, runtime being 90 minutes. I was just like, but wait, we're just getting into it. But I mean, that's supposed to make you have more. I did take points off for the fact that, you know, there was such a you know, big jump between time space between the sequel and the actual movie. Movie was released in 2015. Different time, and then the sequel was released a decade later. I was like, well, by the time I turned 50, we should have 3 movies. Like, it was, I didn't like that there was such a big time. But I know with Pixar is very much down. If you look very closely, little tidbits here and there, Pixar doesn't play. Like, they go all the way down to, like, they make sure the hair is perfectly aligned. Like, you know, there's certain things that I like. There's like why I give it such a high score. Like, I didn't realize it till now, but the reason why anger is represented by a shorter emotion, because, you know, short-tempered. I felt so crazy with that. But I did like the fact that they kept it simple. You know, I had my own variation of adult emotions at the beginning, but I did like the little, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. You know, train of thought was pretty cool in the first one, because I can tell you my train of thought, I don't even know where it'd be going. Like, where does it go? The voice actors, amazing voice actors. Yeah, just overall, I really wish that they would have just portrayed a couple of the emotions more accurately. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, but I wish they did a better job of that. Also, I don't know if there's really need for a sequel after this, because, like I said, Disney is for the children, or the children at heart, and I feel like the only way after this is puberty, the dark side. You know, so I feel like this was a good conclusion to the series. If they do have another one, I don't know how it's gonna go well, because like I said, you can only go so far with it. But I definitely could say, like, it was worth seeing it in theaters, like seeing everything on the big screen. I feel like a lot of people are not going to theaters anymore, but overall, like, it's making so much money already. So original movie budget was 100 million, made 800 million. This movie budget 200 million, already made 800 million. It's only been out for 14 days. Like, it's one of the highest, fun fact, it's one of the highest grossing movies this year, and that tells me that we need more of it. But apparently they were trying to have like a series, you know, They're trying to have like a series come out, I guess, of it. So I don't know. Disney, once they see something's working, rubs hands like Birdman. Like they're ready to milk that cow. But I don't know. I don't think a series would only work well if they're willing to go there, because like puberty, there's some parts of puberty that yeah. Yeah, stay tuned for my personal review later, my emotional review later. But yeah, there's some parts that I really like the fact that the mom and the dad have representation too, because like I'm not a kid, but as a parent, like I just remember being a teenager and I just hated my parents so much, and it's nothing they did, like it's something I just hated them, and I think it was just that it gave me something to focus on because I had no control over anything. But overall, great movie, go see it, it's still out. So we're gonna go into my emotions, that if I was making a movie for older people, I have my emotions as earlier. Impatience and annoyance are siblings, twins, and they're kids of anger, and anger is out of control. Rage. I have libido, self-explanatory, and then I have common sense, and I have empathy on here as my emotions. I would say, like, I feel like as an adult, and I'll be talking about this later on in the week about my I have a 33 and me 33 and me birthday basically advice. I'm going to be counting down to my birthday at the end of the month. Go July, babies, Leo season. But basically, like, I would say impatience and annoyance, you have to really tame them before they go into rage, before they fusion into rage. Like, I just remember when I was a teenager, I just had so much rage. Like, the rage was there, people were like, I feel the rage. I don't know, I see the songs or whatever, but I just had so much rage because I was like, why am I 5'10" at 14? Where's everybody at? Like, no one was tall. I was like, what is happening? So the rage there, like just the impatience, like it's still kind of there. I channel it more. You guys know I box as a form of working out. I box occasionally here and there, but like, it's just like that. Like when certain situations I go through, I was like, dang, I wonder if like my brain is like going through like that council of like different movies, like different like emotions. I don't know if like it's going through like a different emotions. Like, I don't know, like to me, I feel like that's like really important as an adult, especially so you won't end up in situations where you shouldn't be, i.e. let's go to libido. Like with libido, like libido has blown up more situations than anger ever will. And I feel like you need to also be able to maintain that as well. Like he also needs to be able to maintain that as well. Like there's still like a need for women especially to like really just own that part of their body. Like they feel like, okay, oh my God, I'm not supposed to be feeling these things or whatever. But I was like, it's perfectly natural, but don't let it ruin your life, because it's like lust versus love. Like that's why I still stand by getting married later in life when you kind of start getting ugly, because when you kind of start getting ugly, because now you're not, it's not the love. I'm not saying you should, okay, time to get married at 65. I'm not saying that, because some people still look good at 65, but I don't know, like I do feel like you should get married later in life, because like when you're younger, you're just fueled by hormones. Like I remember being like that teenager that was like boy crazy and oh my god, and then like common sense, she wasn't developed yet. Like she was still pretty young, she didn't have a lot of experience. Common sense comes from experience. So let's go into common sense. Common sense is another one that I said as well, that like that only develops like if you nurture her. Like a lot of y'all common sense, I'm not here to judge. I empathize with you. That's my next emotion I'm going to talk about. But common sense, like there's a certain level that y'all be quieting her. Like y'all talk over her a lot. And I think she needs space, because sometimes I feel like if common sense was applied here, A, B, and C would have never happened. Like the answer is there. the answer. Oh, my thing fell. The answer is there. Like that doesn't make any sense. Like there's still like that doesn't make any sense. Like the answer is there, but empathy. I feel like empathy is another person who I can at least say that. With empathy, like empathy has gotten me in trouble as well, because I have a tendency to give a lot of chances. Okay, I have a tendency to give a lot of chances, a tendency to a tendency to give a lot of chances, a tendency to empathize too much, because sometimes this person just sucks. Like it's just this person just sucks. You can't try to sit there and be like, sorry, I'm dog watching my dog and my cousin's dog, and he has this whole place to go. He likes sitting right up under me. So if you've heard him growling this whole time, it's him. He's literally in my lap. That's the only way he was gonna not bark. Anyways, but yeah, I really feel like there is a need for, you know, this movie to come out. I want them to have like be brave enough to do like a teenage version, especially the fact that if sadness and embarrassment fusions, that's how depression happens, and then anxiety and happiness, that's how positive toxicity happens. So don't forget to subscribe, share. It's Claire here. Let me show you this guy. No, look at the camera. Hello. You've been talking this whole time. Because he doesn't want to talk.